and multiply. Burger King. By the time she gonna own a chain of them, from a husband man who has very clear vision. Yeah. He is clear about purpose and destiny, not just for himself, but a man who you marry has to be able to cultivate what is in and on you as well. Yeah. So I can't have a man who is unclear about where he is going and who is intimidated by what and who I am. He has to be able to help me cultivate what I am as well. So I desire clear vision. I desire clear purpose. I need definition. I'm not a go with the flow type of woman. I need to know where we going, what we doing, what's the destination. I thrive. Hear this. I thrive when I know what's going on, and I shouldn't have to ask you. I need you to lay out the plan for us. Take me on a drive. Put me in a car. Drive me around. Talk to me. Tell me, baby, this is what we get ready to do. This is what you. Me. You say, check your phone. Safety, an environment where I can thrive. Because let me tell you this about most women. When a man provides that for a woman, she will walk through everything. She will climb every mountain. If you are lying to her, that's what I desire. Listen, ain't nobody got no time for no games. Listen, you have women who are carrying destiny and purpose on them. You don't have time for all of this stuff. And let me tell you this, the enemy uses relationships with us because he knows that it is the one thing that can derail what our destiny is. It's how we love and who we love. It's the thing that demons use the most. This is why we date the same spirit. There it is. There it is. There it is. There it is. That if I can get her in a dysfunctional relationship, I can steal her confidence. I can kill her esteem. So for me, the things that I desire, to me, that ain't that much. Oh, that's not much. Because it's completely about what you gonna get. To me, everything is fine. It's not that complicated. We want people who are committed to us, who will love us, and we will be able to do the same. I'm not intimidated by trauma. We all have it. My challenge is, do you want to come out of it? What you are in. That's what I want in a man's man.
I always talk to Black women, they don't want to talk to me. The minute I talk to a white woman, they get mad. You want to think you're mad? I'm mad too. There's a lot of anger inside of me. What about us? Black women talk about me. What about us Black men? We go through stuff too. We're tired of hearing the same thing of, oh, we're independent women. We're independent this, we're independent that. I'm independent too. We have a lot in common. You have this imaginary wall around you. I don't know who damaged you. And me being a black man, I have to suffer for what somebody did to you. That has nothing to do with me. I'm not the enemy. I get that a lot from black women, that we're the enemy, we're liars, cheaters, we're dogs. Diary of a Mad Black Man. I have a journal I keep. And then when I show this side to women, they think it's a weakness. It's not a weakness, actually a strength. But then when I show this to you, to black women, you don't know how to receive it because you're so used to being abused. It makes it hard for me to get to know this.
Black women look at me and say, I can tell you don't like us. I'm like, what? I don't like you? I love you. But I can't help it if I learn 20 instruments. I can't help it if I play flute, walk barefoot on the beach. And I'm from South Central. I was amazed at you because I've been told you, I said, you're a beautiful girl. And I watched yesterday.
Michael, she's beautiful woman.
Okay, I'm sorry about that. Beautiful woman. So you're a beautiful girl. And I told him, I said, this generation right now, people in their 20s, it's hard. Y'all making it hard on these brothers. We got to wake up every day. Everything has to be about status. We got to buy this, even if we can't afford it. And then y'all on Instagram, beautiful, and you talking like you don't have no daddy. You sound like a dude talking, like you ain't got no home training. Oh, what the? And you say you a bad bitch? That's not a bad bitch. I'm talking in general. I'm talking about the general that you're how old are you?
22.
Yeah, your generation. Girl, you're 22 years old. You doing this. You having hot flashes?
Yes, it's hot.
Michael, it's disrespectful. I want you to understand that. Why would you do that?
I mean, I got a son with a black woman. My mother's black. Experiences, you guys are always mad. It feels like, we're not good enough. It's always, well, I want the guy who's popping, who's home.
I pop my own bottles.
Are you pissed off?
She can't respond to that.
Well, I can tell she's angry.
How does that then make you feel? What is your response to her anger?
It's like, well, I'll just date the Latin women.
Sometimes you just look at a black woman and go, baby, what are you mad for? You gonna give us everything, everything you can with it, and then you just like, maybe I didn't need that. That attitude scares a lot of men off. Like, I can't deal with the attitude because as a man, I got to get out here and get this money. And then you come home and you got a battle. You like, it's not worth it. It's the
Here for particular reasons.
It's time for the 418.
What it is, what it ain't, and what it ain't gonna be, man. What is going on out there in the world? This is welcome to the full 180. I am your shooting, Mr. DJ TRWKY. And this is where we sit on a platform and like we do, like to have good conversations about good topics. You know what I'm saying? Like those hard conversations that you may be sitting somewhere trying to have, but you don't know how to start it. Maybe, and I played those two clips for a reason. One, so you can hear what the lady's saying. The lady's saying, there's nothing that a man can do that I can't take and multiply it. Ladies, listen to what she said. If you want the clip, I'll send it to you. The gentlemen were talking to ladies and basically saying, man, why you got an attitude? Like, what's wrong? And then you hear the young lady talking about, oh, I pop bottles. Like, baby, this wasn't even your moment. Again, sometimes it's your moment to listen, not necessarily to talk. Receive, not necessarily have input. And we struggle with that. A lot of people struggle with that. I used to struggle with that. So here on the 4180, now I got to read this. Thanks to my boy D. He is, we had a great meeting yesterday. I think we did. And I think everybody else can attest that it was good. But within our meeting, we came up with our mission statement. Mission statement, or you can call it either the mission statement or the vision. The vision is this. Healing is a journey that never stops. We here at the 4180 hope through us to provide, to help you live and move into your 180 and not your 360. This suggests that we are hoping to mitigate cycles, build healthy habits so that we see healthy people in relationships, in marriages, as well as individuals. So people always ask me, why you start the show? Why you do this? Why you do that? So I recently had the conversation, like I said before, with my mother about, necessarily, you always going in on women. This is nothing about going in on anybody. This is about us, African American culture, getting right. Because in the world, as you read things, and anybody know me, I spend more time on a laptop than I do in front of TV because I'm always trying to learn something new. But as you read things, it's a true statement that, and since we're entering Black History Month, true statement, man. You take the man out of the relationship, it goes straight to HE double L, and now we causing our women to move from their actual feminine stage into a real masculine stage, right? So we have to change them, but you have to. Told you my new word is reflect on oneself. What are you doing? What are you doing to create that narrative? What are you doing to change the narrative? What are you doing to show change? Are you exercising patience? Are you getting patient? Um, the one thing I can offer somebody, and somebody asked me, Greg, how did you change? It's just one thing, right? It's just one thing I had to learn. It's one thing I do have, and I was taught a long time ago. And it's crazy. Some of the things I was taught, people like, man, your grandfather did good, man. Your pops did good. Your uncles did good. A lot of stuff that I learned how to do is from these three women you see towards the end of the show. Um, and that's why I call them queens of the castle, right? But I have something you call I have something more than just courage, right? What I had to learn is that you have to become more, you have to I have patience. And when you have patience, you will become more. I want to make sure because I wrote this down a long time ago. You will become more than what you are now. I got it from Michael Jordan. And I'm not a huge Jordan fan, but I thought that meant something. Like you can have I have the courage to walk in a room and be in the when I get there, the party starts when I get there. I have a personality when I walk in the room. It's I can light it up. Some people say when I DJ, I have the authority or the power to be a puppet, be a Peter Piper. No pun intended, and no R. Kelly representative. But but the fact that I have patience, because all this didn't come overnight. This stuff I had to work at. And to this day, I still work at it. So this is what it is. And I appreciate D. We had a conversation earlier, man. When I tell you, man, I love my brother. I love my brother, the friend that he has became. And you don't use that word with everybody, but the friends that we have became and the way that we can correct each other in love, no matter in your lungs or not in your lungs. And we can understand that, hey, I know it came from a good place and not coming to attack you, bro. I just want you to be better. And as he says, he feels that it can win. Just like I see him win all the time. I shared a story with you that I shared with him today. I saw him at the block party, which was excellent, man. You get a chance, please go by the Cedar Crest facility. It's ducked off, but go see it. It is amazing. The staff is amazing. What they're trying to do, like I'm just glad to be a part of it. I told him that today, and I'm doing this because I don't do anything privately that I can't do publicly. But I told him I seen him walk into the office, and he had his football and his little basketball, straightened it up, and then he set it straight, and then he looked at his phone. But you can just tell, like he had a sign of, God, it came through. Like he had a solid moment of appreciation, gratitude, completion. And then he picked up his phone and looked like, okay, what's next? That brother's building. And I told his wife, man, I appreciate a woman like you. Because I know this man is busy. I know he is. But you right here. You support, you come. It was cold. And she showed up. Man, when I tell you that means so much to a dude, if you ladies don't know anything else, the fact that you show up, not necessarily your presence is not always showing up. Just the fact that you got somebody in the background, if nobody is cheering you on, that person is cheering you on. So, man, I had to say it. We talked earlier, but like I said, I don't do anything public, probably that I can't do publicly. So I definitely got to give him his kudos for what he does, what he do. As I meet, he helped with that mission statement just to define the vision a little bit more. So I would be forever grateful. And it wasn't just him, Lil Webby and everybody else as usual. It's a group thing. So All right, let me get y'all out y'all finish, man. And again, welcome to the full 180. The crew is here. I'm not gonna wait. Piece of jewelry. She won't be in today. She said life be life. So we praying for her. We hope everything is everything. But other than that, man, we got our own licensed LPC. Soon to be May 17th. It's party time. Oh, it's party time. Because she gonna have it all together. And when I say party time, that means buckle up, saddle up, grab the back of the chair because we going to NASA.
Maybe Darian can hire me on.
She's none other than our very own AP, and I don't mean assistant pre-K. She's the assistant principal, soon to be. None other than our very own Lil Webby, aka shout out to the finer ladies of today.
Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated. It's Founders Day, y'all. J16 all the way. Today is the day that the world became finer.
She actually believes that. So please
because today is the day. On January 16th, 1920 at Howard University, 5
Tell them what Zora did. What Zora do?
Come on.
What did Zora do?
We ain't talking about Zora. 5 illustrious women came together because the men of Phi Beta Sigma needed some women to help them.
Ooh, look at that. So they acting like God. They knew they couldn't do it by themselves.
They could do it by themselves, but they needed some sisters to help.
We can just keep it to the Zetas. We ain't gotta. We ain't gotta.
Thank you, sir.
It's
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
We
let you have your day. We let you have your day. But forever and always, remember.
When December 4th rolled around, I'll let y'all have it.
Because you was cold. You know, sometimes
was
in cold days, it's sometimes if you ain't used to that cold like that, it can make you a little quiet. But it's all good, you know.
You know when that cold comes, it kills off.
That cold
like
front
you in a
can
hospital,
do that to you a little bit.
You know, you in a hospital, they keep it cold because they say cold keeps away diseases. See, that's what we did. We came in, we kept away all the disease infested stuff until and we became the first. Not me, just set a trend for some people to follow. That's why some of these people have our same colors.
Today's your day. Today's your day. I'm
gonna let you have it.
Thank you. Now, if you want to play Candy or hear Kitty, I'm here for it.
Come on.
Okay.
Let's go. Let's go.
It's already suspect. Here, Kitty. Here we go. The other brother on here is Nah, man. Happy Founders Day for real, man. Look, that was Zetas. Trust me, I love them. I love them to life. The whole circle. But them Zetas, Deltas, hey, I'm partial to them. I can't lie.
Not them Deltas, just the Zetas.
Hey, just let it go. Let me flow with it.
Well, I got it till 11:59 p.m. tonight.
Okay.
Yeah, you got it. Yes, ma'am. That's right.
Yeah. We finna get you off in about 30 minutes, so you're gonna enjoy it. However, the other brother on here is actually my brother. He represents the brothers of that black and gold, but not only that, we go deeper than that. This is my brother from another mother. What's up, mama? From another mother. When I tell you we are tied for life, we are tied for life. But this brother here, man, he's a different type of brother. He's an R&B brother. When I mean R&B brother, I'm talking about real R&B. Have you ever seen?
He's bringing the sun, moon, and the stars.
Yeah.
He bringing R&B back.
He says, and even more.
Yeah, man. Come on, you got it. I like that. That's what's up.
No, sir, this is your time. This is our very own poet, aka CEO. Behind every door is the actual prophet, none other than Mr. Darren Lewis. Put some respect on that brother name. What up, Kim folk?
What's up, man? Shout out to the Zetas.
Shout out to the Zetas. Yeah.
Come on, Blue Juice. Let's go. I know a lot about Blue Juice, unfortunately. But you know, I have some friends who are Sigmas.
Yeah.
And you tell the story of Blue Juice.
Listen. I've tried. When you go to a HBCU, you end up trying all the juices.
Everything.
At some point.
Everything.
I had some blue juice probably about a year ago, and I was like, ooh.
Oh,
this
yeah,
is
it hit different. It hit different as an adult for sure.
Woo.
I put that cup back down. I said, yeah, no,
these young folks still putting Everclear in drinks. So you just leave that where it's at. Yeah, you gotta leave that where. Let the young people have it.
Oh my God.
Yeah, let the young people have it. Let the young people have it.
I got excited. I saw an old head. They was like, sis, you want some blue juice? I'm like, bet. And I was like,
ooh, blue juice. Ooh. Yeah, like that diesel and then the Alpha
DJ
Punch.
Tricky.
Don't worry about what I know.
Don't
worry about what I know.
What is the what's the one Omega do? Omega T or whatever it's called.
Nah, it's
Omega
oil.
something.
Oil.
It's Omega oil.
Yeah, Omega oil.
That too. Kappa Punch, blue juice, Zeta T.
The oil was nice though. I ain't gonna lie. The oil was kind of nice.
Whoever made it when I got it, it was okay. But I done had some was like, bro, you trying to kill me?
Boy,
like,
for sure.
Like, I can't do this. I can't do this. So yeah, man. And like I said, of course, shout out to Jules, man. We pray for her, make sure everything is everything. So we'll check on her after the show.
Shout out to
a couple things. Yeah, a couple things I do not, because I don't want to waste too much time. So we can get into this because I got 2 clips I want to play. So one, MLK parade is this Saturday, starting at 10. They rescheduled it, so this Saturday will be live right there at MLK. It has the same route that's been rerouted. I think they open up registration if you still want to actually be in the parade. So if that's what you choose to do, then do that. But come out and have a good time. Of course, I have the privilege and opportunity of hosting and emceeing it as the parade goes, as I did last year. So it's gonna be an exciting time. I try to make sure I go around the world and hit all the genres. And man, it's just a big block party. That's all we have to do. We got a pregame between 9 and 10, 8 and 9, I believe, and then with a live band, some singers. We're gonna sing the Black National Anthem. So it's gonna be a fun festive time. So if you ain't got nothing to do Saturday, man, come kick it with us for a little while right there on MLK in the deep Dallas, Texas, man. And of course, I know they got them going on everywhere around the city. So wherever you are, enjoy, represent. And this is, I don't like to say our day. It's everyone's day. But particularly to us, let's choose this day not to do any stupid stuff. Kill keep your guns at home, bro. Keep the beef, all that fighting. Like, bro, this Saturday is not that day. It's just not that day for you to do that. So, tell Queen I said, what's up? I see you in the background. She good though. She good. So other than that, that's about all. Look, I got these 2 clips I want to play. Oh, my bad. PSA announcement.
I dated a married man for 25 years. And we was friends for the next 20. When I met him, he told me he loved his wife. And he loved me. And baby, he treated me like a goddess, motherfucker queen. And I didn't fuck with his household. His wife didn't even know I exist. Trust me when I tell you so. And if any motherfucker would have told the bitch to fuck up my good shit, I just don't know what would have happened when I fucked them up. I don't know what God would have done with their motherfucking soul. It's all about respect.
Now, I know my mama somewhere like, boy, did you play that for real? I didn't want to cut that up because you would have took all the real stuff out of it. Excuse me if I'm hoarse, my throat is hurting. But when that old lady just said, she said, PSA announcement, you side chicks. Y'all heard what she said? He knew, she knew. And if anybody would have told she was going to mess them up, then your TV loud.
She said that with her chest.
Yeah,
chest.
With her whole chest. So it's like, bruh, what are we doing? So you side chicks of the world of 2024. Please listen to what the young lady just said. That is your statement. Your day is not any other holiday. Your day is always the week before, the week after. That is your day. Please accept that. And then she gave you your information of what you need to do. So, all right. So after that, I have a couple things that I want to do. Agree or disagree. This is what we're doing. Listen to what this young lady said. I heard it this morning. I had to listen to it twice. Hold on.
What's going on, y'all? How y'all doing? This may be one of the most honest videos you may ever see in your life. Check it out.
It took me 32 years to realize it because I just found that out today. So I was 10 years old when I realized it. It took me a lot of pride swallowing to be able to admit it. I feel like I don't have anything to offer to a man because a man asked me what I had to offer him. And it was the way he asked that made me realize that I don't. He simply stated, I realize that you're single, but tell me what would I benefit from having you as my woman? Now, outside of the basics, like, oh, I look nice, I can cook, I work, I didn't have nothing else to offer. And the reason I realized that I didn't is because I got to thinking about myself. And all I've been doing for so many years is just working and taking care of kids. I don't know necessarily what I'm into. So there goes hobbies. I'm not necessarily sure the feminine level of energy because majority of my relationship, I wore the pants. So how can you, as a woman, offer to be a woman to a man if you've never fully been a woman? I am a woman because I'm a female, but I'm talking about like actually be a woman, like to a man. I've never experienced that, so I don't know what that feels like. So I can't honestly say that I have anything to offer as far as a woman outside of just being a woman. So that means all I really do have to offer is something because I'm a woman and we have one. It's really not enough. I can't honestly say I can offer you a nurturing environment because I'm too frustrated about the children that I have and the lack of help that I have with them. So it's like I can't necessarily be so nurturing to you when I'm frustrated at the amount of nurturing that I'm already doing. So therefore, I know I can't offer you that. I can offer cooking for you, but then to me, it comes at a price because if you're coming and you're sitting and you're eating my food and you're not providing any of it, I'm a feel away. So now I'm offering you bitter. That's not anything a man wants. Why would you want a bitter female? Well, I'm bitter because of my own. So it's not your job to fix the business, it's my job to fix. As much as I want to make comes to me ready, able to provide, work, and handle himself, I think that me as a female, I need to have my emotions in check because if a man wants peace, I don't have any because I'm frustrated. I'm bitter, I'm emotional, I'm upset. So I made this video because today I realized that I don't have anything to offer a man outside of good looks. And I learned that I don't want a man for just his looks. So how can I be so selfish and only offer a bare minimum and expect so much? It's unfair. Now.
Oh, yeah. So, agree or disagree to what the young lady said? Anybody? D, you talk, we can't hear you, bro.
No, no, I was talking to Miss Lewis. It's okay.
Oh, okay.
I was listening though. You're all right.
Oh, my bad. Come on, women. Agree or disagree?
I mean, I don't totally disagree. I don't know if I agree with her ideology, but I get what she's saying. If you put it out there, if you don't have anything to offer a man other than what's between your legs, then what are you out here doing, really?
That cooter. Outside that cooter. Here's the deal. Greg, lift your head up, my friend. Here's the deal. I think if women were to be as honest as she was, it puts the ball in the man's court to now to see if he can work with that or not. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times women come to these realizations and cancel themselves too fast. Sometimes it can be attractive for her to even just to be self-aware enough to know what type of state she in. You know what I'm saying? And, allow a man to make a choice if that's where he want to be. You know what I'm saying? And one of the things like that type of vulnerability and that honesty is something that's honestly, it's worth respect at the end of the day. Like it gives us to me, I can respect a person who's willing to be that honest. You know what I'm saying? But I wouldn't, what I struggle with is women who counsel them, like at one point, women who would counsel themselves because of their truths. You know what I'm saying? Hell, I know you have a kid just as much as you know you have a kid. You know what I'm saying? Like I know, like, but I what I don't know is if you decide to cook, and if I don't buy any of the ingredients or anything, that you would feel some type of way about that. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know that part, right? You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking that you're doing this out the kindness of your heart, but you looking back at me saying, yo, like, no, you didn't buy none of the ingredients. And it's not that I can't buy it. It's just I didn't know to. I didn't know that was the expectation. And so that transparency, the more transparent we can be up front, the better, I would say.
I agree.
And yeah, I'm like you, like I just love her realness. Like I don't know when she came into it. So and the most important, the most important piece, and please for the men in the world, please don't think it's just women. It's you too. It's you. Some of y'all out here think y'all balling, bro. Sit your $2 ass down. Quit acting like you got credit cards maxed out doing this, trying to buy all the polo, all the Gucci, bro. You don't live. Stay in your lane, Pip. Stay in your lane. Stay in your lane. Be you. They're gonna have to love you for you or not, because sooner or later it's gonna come out. It's gonna come out. You can't hide forever. You can't put behind all these as my mother would say, smoking mirrors forever, and then people don't know who you are. And then when it start coming out, quit running from it. Be honest. I don't know why it's so hard for us to be honest about oneself. If you know you ain't got it, you ain't got it. Now I'm like D, if you ain't got it, I'm more such to work with you. I ask questions so I'll understand. So when we're having dialogue, I know how to talk. I know how to get you to that place, or I know to get you to understand. Okay, well, I understand what you're feeling, but I don't think that's me. That's something else. There go my nephew. I think there's something else. So her transparency, man. If we all could just learn to be simple, transparent, and not hold the stuff in until it feels so up, and then you tick off like a bomb, it'd be way better. So D, this one for you.
So this is my issue, right? I can't not say what the problem is because then I'm gonna get in trouble. But then I say what the problem is, and then I get in trouble. And part of this goes to this whole idea that, quote unquote, women don't want accountability. I don't think it's that. I just think that sometimes you entitled to have feelings. I feel the way I feel. Just let me feel the way I feel. When you ask me what's the matter, let me tell you what's the matter, and it hurt my feelings. I'm not asking you to change it. I'm not asking you to make me feel better, but you asked me. And I also had to learn that when I'm telling her how I feel, don't expect her feelings to change just because I'm being honest. But that came with years.
Nothing lingers anymore with it. Yeah. Nothing lingers. Like, for example, I think the frustrating part for me was having to ask over and over again. You tell me nothing's wrong, but clearly something's wrong. So by the time I'm exhausted from asking what's wrong, then you finally want to divulge that, and I'm already over it. I'm on to the next thing. Right. Now it's so different. It's literally, babe, here's how I feel. Or I see that your energy's a little off. What's going on? And he just goes right into it. Wow. We don't waste any more time.
So both of y'all, agree or disagree? Does this happen? Brother say how he feel. Instead, what? Well, let me speak. I'm gonna start speaking to. I'm gonna let y'all. What I used to do was you used to speak how you feel, and what came out your mouth, and it came into my head. I interpreted something totally different. Oh, so what you said was you want to go to my mama's house. No, what I said to you was, I don't know if I'm gonna have time to meet you at the house to go over your mama's house because I won't be done here at 3. That's what I think sometimes the problem is when people talk about feelings and then you don't want to hear my true feelings. But then you'll say, well, won't you talk to me? Why you don't talk to me? Tell me how you feel. Do you really want to know how I feel? Like, legitimately, do you really know how I feel? Because when I tell you, it end up, like you said, it turns into a whole argument. Or then you repeat what I said, and I'm like, that ain't what I said. Or you add extra words.
But like he said, he had to understand just because he shared his truth, that doesn't mean that she shares those same feelings.
Cool. I'm not expecting you to same share feelings. My whole point is, listen to what I said, not what you interpreted in your head. If I said your collar is white, and your response back to me is, "Oh, you mean it's kind of off white?" No, that's not what I said. So it's like you're not hearing what I said. You heard what I said, but between my mouth and when it got to your ears and your head and you processed it, you processed that I said your collar was off white. That's not what I said. And I know that's real lame or whatever, but I'm just using that because what I can see. But I think we do that in conversation, which is like a whole lack of communication. Or that to me, you find out that's somebody who don't know how to communicate. Especially if that's something you do time in, time in, time in, time in. That gets frustrating. It's like, I don't want to talk. For what? Tell you how I feel for what? It don't matter. Because you're gonna interpret it way something that I did not say. Go ahead, D.
Mm, yeah, that's dangerous because bottom line, you're gonna eventually talk to whoever you feel safe with. And the truth is, like, if you don't feel safe in your relationship, you'll eventually talk to somebody else you feel safe with. And if that person happens to conflict with your commitment, you're also opening up doors that could be detrimental to your commitment. Meaning where, okay, if I were to be more specific, if you go talk to another woman about issues that you don't feel safe to talk with your main woman about, like your the person you're in a relationship with, you never know what's in that woman's head. Like, you know what I'm saying? Or you never
Right.
know where that could lead to. Vice
Mm-hmm.
versa. Same with a woman doing the same with a man, you know. Or let's take it another step. Even if you do that with your parent, you invite your parent into your relationship.
Ooh-wee.
And your parent, if you talk
Okay.
to your parent enough, you're going you're subconsciously um only not well, you're subconsciously having these conversations with your parent, and if it's specific to your mate and about your mate, and you're only telling your parent like these type of conversations about your mate, you're building the perspective of that
Mm-hmm.
person to your parent,
Mm-hmm.
and it's negative. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? You've let it go and you've moved on, but your parent is looking at that person's crazy, and that person is feeling the vibes of that parent of that parent. So I think it comes down to, ultimately, find like trying to find safety in your current situation. And if you don't feel safe to communicate, at the very least say that and give the person an opportunity to help you feel safe eventually in that conversation.
All right. So
Totally
help.
agree with that. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was picking back off of Darren just to so that person can course correct, because they may not even know that they're making you feel unsafe. May not be aware of.
Hmm. Even if I
Right.
tell you out loud,
But that's
you
what we're
you
saying.
still do the same thing.
If you haven't communicated that,
Right.
True.
sometimes
Sometimes,
they don't
yeah.
communicate that, and then they build the resentment,
Right.
and another person had no clue that they felt this
Hmm.
way.
Or they'll assume they won't be accepted, or it makes them look weak to say something like that. Like because
Mm.
it really is really not. Yeah, it's a vulnerable thing to say for sure. But hypothetically, if a person don't feel safe and this person genuinely loves you, that you explain this to, more than likely that person could get defensive a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But the hope is that that person is mature enough to handle that statement and say, "Hey, okay, what am I doing to not help make you feel safe?" You know what I'm saying? And if, okay, wow, I didn't know. Like, for example, all right, me and my wife raising my voice, and if I get passionate about what I'm saying and my voice raise up a little bit, it comes
Mm-hmm.
off as threatening. So anything that I say to her at that point, she ain't hearing. All she doing is paying attention to my voice, like the tone of my voice at that point. You know what I'm saying? And it doesn't feel safe to her, you know? So at that point, I got a choice. If she voices that to me, I got a choice to say, do I say, nah, this is just me. I'm passionate about what I'm talking about. And no, you ain't gonna change who I am. Or do I course correct and make that adjustment so that, at the very least, she can hear what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? Or help her feel safer in the conversation. Largely being because what is the main priority? A lot of us, the main priority is that we are heard. That's the main priority, right? But we got to also do whatever is necessary to ensure that what we're saying gets across the way that we hopefully desire to get the point across.
Another day, and another show, another day. I'm going to give you my side of the story because my side of the story. Let me put it this way: I agree with what you say, but then I also disagree because there are times where people use that to deflect. But I'm not gonna go any deeper than that. But I have that. We sit around and we have that conversation all the time, and I always tell them, I get that you're not feeling safe, or that's a trauma that's or a trigger that's popped up in your head from something a long time ago. But my problem has always been I do raise my voice when I'm passionate, and it can seem that I'm yelling, and then I get that same comment, but then when the tables are turned and you're hollering and I'm telling you quit hollering at me, oh, it's the same respect is not there. So once again, it goes to that whole theory of how the hell do you ask me for something and then you do it?
Well, you have a deep value overall for reciprocating basically demonstrating and practicing what you preach. You have a deep value for that, right? So it ain't really like the what? It ain't necessarily the situation where um she said something or she did something that she asked you not to do or you vice versa. It's just literally it contradicts a valuable principle for you. Practice what you preach. If you tell me this, I'm gonna try to make that adjustment, but don't go back and do the same thing because at that point, at that point, Greg, it's what DJ Tricky is that
it's cool. It's cool.
It's important that we establish some shared values. We do it in other settings. We go to work. There's a shared value that's associated with that company, and there's an expectation that we all behave that way. And anytime we get out of line in that, it can cost us our job.
Yes, sir.
Why can't we, as two people who've rubbed up against each other and understand a little bit about each other, demonstrate some shared values to say, you know what, we're not gonna do that. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, we got to get there together. You know what I'm saying? And find how this particular value means, understand what it means for the both of us, and how this can infiltrate our relationship and come in between you and I being the best version of who we are for each other.
So that means that when we need to have since we talk about, do we go to church, when you decide, okay, yeah, I'm going to date this person or whatever situation may have you, but nobody talks about how do we handle conflict. And that's a conversation that needs to be had. So like how I express to my person, you can't cuss at me when we having an argument. I'm not going to listen. Just like how you said your wife don't listen when you elevate your voice. You start cussing and everything else, I'm probably not listening because now I'm only hearing that you cussing at me. And if the goal is for me to hear what you are saying so that I can course correct whatever it is and you start cussing and fussing, then that doesn't make me want to, course correct, because now all I hear is that you're talking crazy to me. And just like you don't want me talking crazy to you, cussing and fussing and hollering and screaming. So, but yes, both of you are correct. Then we need to, as adults, practice what we're preaching. If I'm saying I don't want you cussing at me, then I'm not gonna cuss at you when I'm mad at you. Well, at least try my best and be, aware of it, make sure that I don't do it. Am I gonna land 100% on the time? But the goal
I'm
is
not expecting to.
Huh?
I said I was agreeing with you. You said you're gonna land every time. I said, I'm not expecting you to.
Right.
Because you're gonna get frustrated. It may be something that you told me many, many times. It's like, God damn, Greg, how many times I gotta say this? But
Yeah.
I can't get so involved with your frustration and how you saying it. The meat of what you're saying is we keep going through this same cycle. I keep coming to you and talking to you and talking to you and talking to you. And I'm trying to figure out what else I gotta say for you to get it, for you to make the adjustment.
Correct.
It's like, come on, man.
Correct.
So when you in your frustration, you talking to me and you drop some curse words, I'm not too much into your what I see is you're frustrated. And it's something I did to cause that frustration.
I
So
ain't
that's
talking
what
about
I'm trying to listen
cuss
for.
word. I'm talking about full on
Yeah. Like
cuss.
in your lungs. In your lungs. Oh well, no, oh, okay. Well,
That's
nah,
I ain't
not talking
talking
to
about
you like
like
you. Oh, okay, okay, my
I
bad.
ain't talking
Yeah,
about like, oh shit, this damn Greg, you done did this again. I ain't talking about that. Y'all know what I'm talking about.
you talking about
If
cussing out like you some nigga on the street. Got it.
Mm.
Got it. Understand it.
Nah, I don't. I think that's just very high disrespect.
it is.
And I'm gonna tell you something. One of the things I don't tolerate is being told "f you," because, bro, the audacity for you to say "f me,"
Say it
like,
again, D. The
oh
audacity.
nigga, that's a
Like my
strong
mama
emphasis, my
said,
friend.
I can show you better than I can tell you what they look
So,
like.
That's a
for sure.
strong emphasis, my friend. And I trust me, when I've had a time because there are multiple opportunities I really have had to typically F you in so many different situations or have that
Mhm.
mentality. You know what I'm saying? And I've chosen not to have that, you know. And I think what you said, Greg, I don't want to take that lightly. I think,
No, you cool.
you know, sometimes you can't sometimes people do need the space to vent it and get it out their way, right?
Hmm.
Um, but we still need to have a particular level of respect here, right?
Agreed.
Um, Now, when that person is getting it out and saying it is still respectful, but they just getting it out in a way that's passionate, that's frustrating, that you know what I mean. They're voicing whatever their matter is. It is important to listen to what they're saying and not get so caught up in their emotion and how they said it.
Hmm.
Listen to what they said, see what you can see if there's some truth in what they're saying,
Right.
and see what you can do to make an adjustment. Sometimes on the flip side though, if a person is continuing to do a certain thing, sometimes they're choosing to do that, but sometimes we ain't communicating as clear as we thought we are. Well, at least as clear as we thought we did, excuse me.
Of
So
course.
that in turn challenges us to either to be better communicators. And sometimes the frustrating part is I thought I communicated this clear to you, and
Hmm.
what you actually did, you communicated it in a way that you comprehend and that you receive, but you didn't communicate in a way that they receive.
Hmm.
And learning how to communicate in a way that another person receives takes time to really get to know them and actually listen to them and understand them. So seeking to understand before seeking to be understood.
I am
Yeah.
learning that. I'm learning like I don't know if you're in leadership at your job, but I am. And that's one of the things that they have drilled in us is we have to we like, and I've gotten frustrated. I've sent emails out to my team and I've what I thought was very clear, concise procedures. And then
Mhm.
5 minutes later, they come back asking me now how I do this. And I'm sitting here spinning my wheels like, was I? So for me to stop getting frustrated, I'm like, okay, you have to communicate the way that they understand. It's your job to make sure you communicate the way that they understand. And it's their job to say either they didn't or they need more clarifying questions. And then they begin the application process. So we
Well,
can't always
yeah.
assume that how we're saying things is clear because it's clear to us because we're the ones who thought it, we're the ones who spoke it. So no shit, Sherlock, it's clear to us.
Yeah, go
No,
blue.
yeah. I mean, no, go ahead.
Go
Yeah,
blue.
I'm with it. I'm with it. I'm with it.
What be out there
Let me
sipping a
done
little
took
blue
off.
juice?
I
She'll be
know.
she hot and everything, so she'll be
She
sipping a
done,
little blue.
she done took off
Look,
her
look,
jacket
look,
and everything. What we
look,
doing?
look. I ain't
I
gonna lie.
got mine.
Look, a true statement though. Like leadership can make you take off your jacket though. Yeah, Like, trust me, people think president and CEO is a dope thing, which it is. I give glory to God for it. And it's one of the toughest challenges of my life. And one of the things I would tell you is that I heard one of our employees say this and it blessed me. She said, Darian, I can't hold you accountable to the questions I choose not to ask.
Yeah, we can close the computer. We done.
Yeah,
Show over.
that's enough. We
Show's
good.
over.
Thank y'all for coming. God bless. Good night.
No, I said, yo, that was like, I said, you just blessed me so much because so many people will hold you accountable to things that they just didn't even choose to ask, nor give you the opportunity to work through with them and fix. And they're taking on these particular assumptions, and to have that level of maturity speaks volumes to me.
And we do that in our romantic relationship. So if your dude or your woman is saying something to you and you didn't understand the words that was coming out of they mouth, that's your bad for not even asking. So now you've gotten mad at him for something that they said when you didn't understand what they said. And so now because you didn't understand, you're going to keep doing whatever it is that they said something about. Now they mad at you because you're not course correcting when all it was, you didn't understand what they said in the first place.
And you didn't take the time to ask the questions necessary to seek understanding, to seek clarity.
We done. 418 is over with. What's the 2 minutes?
Nah, for sure. Like,
no. No, I mean, I don't like the cliches. Like, you know how that well, so let me tell you what I would do. So you'll be mad and I'll be talking about, and I would, so let me put it this way. What you cannot do with me is insult my intelligence. Now, I don't say I'm the smartest person in the world. But if I know if I said the same thing repeatedly, it's just like, and you didn't hear me. So whether I was in the ceiling, whether I was talking to you level, whether I was in tears, whatever the case may be, I said the same thing. And for some reason, you keep doing the opposite. So now I feel like you're playing with my intelligence. Or they'll say, like I was talking to Quita today, and she said, yeah, I got tired. And I just told him, like, look, man, you can go be with her. And he told her, that's what you wanted to do anyway. See, it's like there's still no accountability, bro. She has talked to you and talked to you and talked to you. Like, you just don't want to get it. You just don't want to see it. Or you just that prideful and don't have any integrity to really sit down and understand, man, you messed up. And now, fast forward to now. Oh, you outside of me. Yeah, living my best life without you. Thank you for what you taught me. God bless. Good night. It's just like now you upset because and so many of us have something good in our faces. We have so many things good in our faces. I was talking to Webby today and she said something was scary. And my comment to her was, Webby, you prayed about this. I've heard you complain about this, what's going on at the other school. And now God is presenting you with so many options to become so many things. You have people who, where you were, did not notice you. Now these people are noticing you. They're putting you in positions. They see your leadership quality. They see what you can do. And I'm just using her as what I'm talking about. But it's so many of us have that situation. You have a good dude. And guess what? He's giving you what he has in the moment that you're in. Because all he's giving you is, let's say if you're still healing, you're not over certain traumatic things, or as they would say, trauma bonds. So you're not, oh, well, I can only give you so much because I don't experience that. I don't know what you go through within or when you guard it within. You like that, player? But I can only see what's going on the outside of you. And I'm gonna use this example, and I should. So today I was at the gas station, Deedis, when we was talking. This man drove up, wanted to give me his ring and his the earpods for an Apple phone, right? So because he needed gas. So I'm like, okay. Well, my thing is, I always look at it as when people on the street, people that are going through challenges. I look at that sometimes is if there was a moment where I was almost there. And I didn't have any help. And I didn't want to call my mom because that'd have been a whole sermon from Genesis to Revelations. But then sometimes you have to go there. But you didn't want to, I didn't want to go there. So anyway, short story, I gave him what I got. I had him $8. And then when I gave it to him, he looked at me like, oh man, I'll give you this. I like, so bro, you can give it back. I like, this all I got to give you. So I understand your dilemma. I understand where you are, but this is what I'm trying to help you. And that's the thing. We have people in our face who are really, really trying to help us in life, in relationships, in business relationships. Let's just say yesterday, if I was so ornery and I had the audacity, but when D said what he said, I took it, I got into my feelings and was like, this ain't your show. What is that gonna solve? He is trying to help me be better. If you got somebody trying to help you be better, and they're doing it at a level of capacity where you can understand, but then you keep pushing it away, don't get mad when they walk away from it.
True story.
Don't be out here trying to run nobody through the mud and, oh, he ain't this, he ain't this. I knew he won't be no good business partner. Don't do that. That's your fault. When do you stop and reflect on oneself? Why is that, as we talked earlier with perspective? The perspective I would have had was, man, thank you, man. This is a start. I know what I need, but if I got somewhere to start, then cool, good. So let me build from here. But we get so sidetracked in I want. You're not even willing to accept the accountability responsible, or you're not even ready to put the effort or the work in to get in the trenches to do the work to get what you really want. And you can grow from that.
Well, just do this. Look at the analogy you painted though. The same analogy you had with the brother who was in need, you know, how he based off at least what I'm hearing you say is that he wasn't really receptible to
he
it.
Wasn't really grateful or
he wasn't
or gratitude.
he struggled
like,
with what you gave him. Like although you
right.
gave him something to help him, it wasn't enough. And I think where we get discontent in our relationships oftentimes is where things aren't enough and they don't meet our appetite or they don't fit our status or they don't meet our expectations in a way. And if we were to be honest, some of these expectations are not expectations that have been communicated. And in fact, realistic, right? You know, I asked a homeboy, we was talking about this because that was just full transparency. There was a conversation about sex and how studies even show that when you get married, sex decreases sometimes. You know what I mean? You're not having a ton of it, and it's for some cases, even doing a husbandhood podcast, I've heard husbands say that I had more sex when I was single with the same person than we did when we got married. And the reality, huh?
But what changed? Did we have
What?
family?
Right. Kids got into play. There were so many things that changed, right? But for men, and I'll make this point real quick, for men who had a ton like sex like before marriage and had sex with multiple women or had sex a lot, you know, that built a particular sex drive at some capacity. That fueled this particular energy around sex, right? That you got accustomed to at some capacity, right? That was really kind of like low key selling yourself a dream. Now that you're married, is your wife responsible for the sex drive that you prematurely created? And that is a question, and vice versa. Like for a woman who was getting it in before marriage, right? Like, is your spouse responsible for the sex drive you created without them?
Oh, that's a whole nother show topic. It's gonna make some people mad because just like you said, or like I said, what changed? So did we have kids while we was to the window and to the wall? Do we now have to take little Timmy to basketball practice, from basketball practice to soccer practice? And does our daughter, is she a cheerleader? She got ballet, or is she struggling? Does she need a tutor? Like, are we doing all those things and then come home and still gotta cook? Sex is the last thing on my mind.
So, and dudes, why she said that, please let me put this on your plate. Bro, let me tell you something. In 2024, quit expecting your wife to work a full eight hours. Come home, pick up the kid, deal with the kid before you get to work, and you want a whole hot ass meal on the floor. My bad. Dude, she work like you work. And so let's talk about capacity. Sometimes if I get out of work, I'm at -20. Sometimes I'm at 20. Now think about this. You come home to your woman, she at 20. Who ain't finna cut on no eye and put nothing in a pot is me. So if I not gonna do it, why am I expecting her to do it?
I might can do a Stouffer's lasagna.
Like,
you was
like,
frying chicken yesterday.
Webby was
frying
something, bro.
I wasn't at work.
Something, bro.
Webby was in there cooking that chicken.
I'm just saying, unrealistic expectations. I'm that dude. You ain't gotta fix my plate. My whole thing is that let me fix your plate, baby. What do you want? Because see, my thing is I might not want everything in there, and then you come in with this big ass plate of stuff I don't want, and then you mad because I don't eat it.
And I'm sure gonna be mad if you don't eat what's on that plate.
It's like I didn't want this.
So here's the deal.
Hold on, Darren. Can I ask y'all a question before you go, Darren?
Yeah.
So, because you married Darren and Tricky, I know you got a boo. So can another at your job fix you a plate?
Can a what?
Can a woman at your job bring you some food and fix your plate?
Okay, what if she's your executive assistant?
Can a woman
at my job
at your job
is my woman there?
She just cooks. Okay, let me paint you a scenario. She just so happened to cook the night before.
And she thought about you
and said, "Here, I brought you some food."
Oh boy, that is something else. Oh
man,
wow.
that's
right
now. No, that's a real thing.
What if she bakes some cookies or something? Talking about, hey, I baked these cookies. I want you to try.
Y'all know the difference between.
Here's the thing.
You know what I mean.
The naive side, the naive me at one point would have been like, oh no, she just hooked the brother up. But what I've learned is, shout out to Ashley Lewis. Well, thank you so much. Did you cook enough for me and my wife? Did you cook enough for me and my wife? Because here's the thing: if I take this home, I thank you for the play. But if I take this home and it's only enough for me, man, and I can't feed my whole family off this, you know what? So I can't even accept it, mom.
I'm the opposite. Let me get something. I'm a call. Look, thank you. I appreciate it. I'm gonna get on the phone. Baby, guess what? Girl, we got some cookies when I get to the house. My coworker made us.
I bring stuff for my people all the time.
Yeah,
that ain't what I'm talking
about. We talking about home cook. That.
Yeah, now that's
okay. Like we had an event, right? And DJ Tricky was there, and we was at the food truck, right? We had a food truck there. So at our grand opening, we had a food truck there too, and our grand opening, I'm CEO. I'm doing around talking to all of our donors. I'm moving around. I don't have a time to really hit that food truck and wait in line, because I'm getting hit with so many people in my face. So my executive assistant, hey, I can go grab something for you real quick. Are you hungry? Are you good? Okay. Yeah. Like, thank you. I appreciate that. Right. What do you want? I want this. All right, great. Here you go. Moving on. Like, you know what I mean?
Nothing's wrong with that. I get what you're saying, but y'all know what I mean.
But no, I know what you mean. No, I know what you mean. And it's ooh.
But what's so since we on that subject, since she said that. So D, what if your old lady at work, and every time your old lady talk to you, she always telling you about some dude in her face. Ooh, girl, you sexy today. Ooh, I almost know who you was. Oh, you got some pretty teeth. Oh, you this, you that. But then in reference, every time you somewhere, there's somebody in your face. This is the comment you get. Oh, I see you got all these chicks in your face. What? But when you,
Now,
well,
when
everybody out
our
here
sisters,
looking at
can
you,
be
but
very territorial. Our
sisters, I'm
sisters
trying to
can be,
understand. I'm
but
trying to understand.
our men can be that way too. I mean, obviously, you know the good thing you have, right? And the tough thing is sometimes when that good thing is getting attention that you're not giving them, that can feel a little intimidating. You know what I'm saying?
Agreed.
Or
It can
the
rub you the
attention that
wrong
you,
way.
right, can rub you the wrong way. It's an insecurity there, like, you know what I mean? Or like, say your wife, or say, to Webby's point, like using Webby's example, if if you've been talking to your wife about, like, dang, I wish we cooked more, I wish we had a home cooked meal, and then this woman, right, may have heard you say something about, "Ooh, I'm just craving a home cooked meal," and then, like at work or something, like, I'm tired of eating fast food, and she brings you, not knowing the full scope of the situation, but she happens to bring you a plate, and your wife find out about it, like, that can be detrimental. Oh, so she can cook for you and I can't cook for you? What do you like? Oh, because I ain't got time to cook and you gonna eat that food?
But see,
Like
that's a
that.
misinterpretation. Like
But I
you
get
ran
you. I
all the way
get
to the
you.
moon with that one.
Now, but
But
here's the
I get
deal
what you're
though.
saying.
No, but that here's the deal. Nobody want to lose what they got. You know what I
Who
mean?
say it again for the people back
Yeah.
there in the 15th row?
Nobody want to lose what they got. And like, yeah, you're gonna go to the moon. If you're not going to the moon, the stars, and the mountains in a good way, trust me, you can go to the moon, the stars, and the mountains, and that mind can wander, like, off the strength of what, those insecurities. Like, either your love and demonstrations of love for a person can give them the moon, the stars, and the mountains, or your insecurities through assumption mentally can take you to the moon, stars, and the mountains.
Well, I'm glad y'all answered my question, but D. Lou, what was you gonna say before I interrupted?
Nah, I forgot now, but I say,
I'm
listen.
sorry.
No, you good. I was just thinking about, I don't know. I'm sure it'll come back, but yeah, man, that's a tough spot. That's a tough spot. You know what I'm saying? But the question that is still, to me, that is just really interesting is your mate, your slash spouse, responsible for the sex drive you created without them? The sexual appetite that you created without them, is it now their responsibility to handle, like, to address that? Because I feel like if you're holding them accountable, then there's a chance that you may be challenging them to be a person that they're not. And because you've been pre-exposed to a ton of, but like a bunch of wild sex before you were you were married, like, now you're holding them accountable to being that, and that's not cool. Just in my opinion.
I don't
But I
think
know
it's
somebody like that.
persons
Go
their
ahead, go ahead,
soul.
go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
Go ahead.
No. Because I don't want you to lose that thought. Go.
I don't think it's the other person's sole responsibility. I think it does warrant a conversation, but we do need to figure out what has changed. Like I was saying earlier, do we have a family now? Do we have time? Do we need to restructure how we shaking and moving in that department?
Come on, shaking and moving. I love it.
How we shaking and moving in that department? Do we need to create more intentional time for us?
Yeah.
And
Man.
And one thing, and then I'm gonna leave it alone. I had to watch this psychologist for a class, and he was saying it was talking about marriages, especially if you want to say in a marriage. We keep trying to get back to where we were. It was never intended to stay in that honeymoon phase. We're supposed to continue to progress. So sex is going to change. How I love you is going to change. How I love me changes. What I like and don't like changes every probably 5 to 10 years. I may decide I want to go get my JD. I don't know. For some reason, I like being cool.
Come on.
But yeah, I just think it definitely warrants a conversation because obviously, well, I'm not gonna say obviously, is this a need that's not being met? Like, what's your reason for this driving force for wanting us to continue to have this wild and crazy sex when we got 2 under 2 over here?
Oh, wait, can I add to what you just said real quick?
Absolutely.
When you said it, I heard this video today, and I wasn't gonna play it. I was gonna save it, but to go along with what you just said, it fits. This is what he said.
I asked my wife, "Why did you stay with me during COVID?" I said, "Why do you stay with me?" And she was like, "Because I love you." I said, and then I thought about it, I was like, "No, that ain't it." Because we were in a business meeting, my business partner, right? And I said, "It can't be, honey. We have over 50% divorce rate. Do you think everybody that got married said they got married because they loved them, most of them?" And I said, "Love, it's not enough." And I said, "Go deeper." And then she sat there, with that look that she always gives me when I'm like, because I'm a thinker. And then she said, "Okay, I love you because you let me be me." Then she said, "I love you because we can laugh. I love you because we operate our home like a business. And she began saying stuff and saying stuff. And then I said, what we've done in our relationship is we've created a culture.
Yeah.
Everything you've said, because think about the great companies like Google, all these companies, people, they have YouTube, where they have a culture, people want to stay. All right. Whenever you create a culture in your relationship, no one wants to leave.
No.
So I played there because of when D asked that question, who's responsible? So because when you say about the sex drive, we kind of if we was bumping bellies like crazy before, and then
Bumping
things
bellies. Come on.
things slowed down. It's like at the beginning we was creating a culture, right?
Bumping
And then
bellies.
now that we've got married, it's switched up a little bit, but we're still creating a culture. So my thing is to what she just said, like it's a joint conversation. It warrants a conversation, yes. But to me, the key things he said was we can laugh, we can operate our house like a business. So when you're somewhere and you like being there, and it's fun, and it's more to me, it's more than just sex. I think that's why some men don't have a lot of sex when they get to the whole marriage stage because now it's more than just sex. We have to treat marriage like a business sometimes. But you got to understand, sometimes you're a chef, sometimes I'm sous chef. Sometimes you're gonna fly the plane and I'm gonna be back here serving the kids. Or I'm gonna have to take out the trash and you're gonna have to wash the dishes. But we're working continually to build a culture. And I think if you're working continually to build a culture and building that bond, even as Webby said, even through conflict, you are still building a culture and a bond. And if you do that, your conflicts will turn to jokes and not, I don't want to lay down next to you. Don't touch me. Go home.
So when
I
you
don't want
said
to be
the
here.
word, so in conflict, we have to create a culture that works for us.
Yes. Because you have good
Well,
arguments and you have bad arguments. I'd rather have more good arguments than bad arguments. Now we're gonna have bad arguments
or
or
constructive
bad
ones, right?
discussions. Yeah, thank you. Let's change the word.
Ones that are constructive. I would say this, man, like kind of piggybacking off of the conversation earlier. Safety shows up in culture. That's why she didn't want to leave. I feel safe in this culture. You know what I'm saying? That's why she didn't want to leave. She felt safe. He feels safe. He feels safe in the culture that has been created within that relationship.
And when you build it,
And when you build that, when you build a culture, and those things are very unique to the people that are doing the relationship, right? Mm-hmm. There is no perfect way to do it. You gotta do the work to best understand your mate. You gotta do the best you can to understand, like, what would be detrimental to this culture that we're trying to create, and what would continue to fuel the culture that we want to have in our relationship. And if it's a culture of constant, nonstop belly bumping, great. Mm-hmm. But if it's a culture, you know what I'm saying? Like, like we belly bump, but it may not happen as often because we got responsibility with these kids right now. Like the kids are the main priority. Like, I mean, it's not the main priority. Like you are the main priority. And we got working kids and we got debt we're trying to accomplish. We got all kinds of things, right? And you know what I'm saying? that's just what it is. But also too though, when I would say this last thing, what you say yes to is also what you're saying no to.
Mm.
What you say yes to is also what you're saying no to. Meaning,
explain that, bro.
All right, so if I say yes to, hold on real quick, I got a toddler that's jumping all over
I see
me.
you. That's
But
nephew.
if I say yes to going to spend time with the fellas, and my wife also want to spend time, like so, say the fellas present an opportunity to go kick it and go shoot pool or go get some wings and watch a game, but then my wife is like, okay, let me flip it. If you have the opportunity to work late, you know that there is a ton of emails and a ton of things that you got to get to, but it's after 5, your wife is off, everybody's at the house, and you have the opportunity to now go be present with your family or be present with them emails. If you say yes to them emails and investing time in them emails, you're also saying no to your family. And if you're saying yes to your family, you're saying no to those emails. It's not about right or wrong there. It's just a matter of a choice. And God has given each of us a choice, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? And what will you prioritize in the moment? Balance. I mean,
You gotta learn how to balance. Or
you gotta
I
have
would
a
say I would
balance.
have the conversation. Like, okay, so I guess my thing is I know I compartmentalize everything, right? So my thing in that situation that you saw, it would have been like, okay, I'm finna go home, kick it with her until about this time. Because I know her sleep pattern. If I know she gonna be asleep by 9:30, 10 o'clock, so I'm gonna go ahead, do this, kick it with her, watch our favorite show, whatever. And then I may lay down next to her until about that time. But I'm gonna have that conversation with her, like, well, babe, I got a lot of work I need to do. So, what I'm saying, I'm gonna lay here next to you so we do whatever, but then I'm gonna need to go in here and finish some work. But I'm gonna put a time frame on it. I'll be done by 11:30. So that way I'm back. So to me, it's kind of like, all right, so I'll create the balance. She understands I have work. Well, if she's your real woman, she gonna understand if this Negro don't work, he ain't gonna pay this bill, and then I'm gonna have to go to work if you're a woman that don't work, and you don't want that, baby, go on take care of your work. Don't worry about it. I'll be in here waiting on you when you're done. But if you give her a time frame, and tell her now it's just like, okay, now you like hold myself to that time frame. I'm done. Then you go in there and do what you want to do, and y'all can hunt, bump bellies, whatever you need to do until about 1:30, 2
Belly
o'clock,
the
or until
back.
both of y'all until y'all pass out. Whatever y'all
Belly
want
the
to do.
back. Just
But my
look,
whole thing is
whatever it
it's
is.
like everybody gets what they want. But the most important thing, there was an understanding between me and her. We had a conversation. As y'all just said, communication. I like to overly communicate. That way you understand what I'm saying. Like I try to provide too many details. Like I know sometimes when I talk, I go too far and my brain go not even nothing. But I provide too many details. Like like today, I told Webby, like when I give directions, sometimes I don't need the street name or the street numbers. I'm gonna tell you, hey, when you get to this corner, there's gonna be a McDonald's on your left and a store on your right. Make a right. You're gonna see something on your left. Go up that street until you get to the third stop sign. Like I'm giving you details, so you're obviously this is like back in the day when we didn't have GPS. But I try to over communicate, especially if we have issues with communicating. Let me over communicate with you so we don't have no problem later.
But even
So,
even even that type of communication comes from a familiar place. Because although you may not know the street signs, you know the crackhead that's gonna be sitting on the corner. You know
say
the
that word. Say that word.
you know what's right. You know what's right by the by the car wash, or
Yeah.
like what I'm saying. Like so, there's
Yeah.
some level of familiarity there. It's just making sure that even with the directions that I'm giving, it's clear enough for the person to follow. And I think that's healthy communication.
I love it. I love it. So as Webby said a while ago, 2 minute drill time. Let's go. She said 2 minute drill. Let's go. My bad, Webby. Now we 2 minute drill. You good?
Yeah, I'm good.
We'll let you go first.
Dang,
We'll let you
I'm
go.
gonna ask Darren what he said earlier because the show was over with 20 minutes ago. Dang, what was we
I am not
saying?
going to tell you because that is my 2-minute drill. So I am not going to tell you.
Oh, that's what the 2-minute drill was gonna be. Dang.
Well, we can share it tonight. We can share the 2-minute drill
Okay,
tonight. So
but I
from
don't remember what
Webby,
I said.
yeah, from Webby and Darian, the reality is we can't hold people accountable to the questions we don't choose to ask. If we don't choose to ask the question, then we can't hold people accountable to the questions that we choose not to ask, assuming that they know what we're feeling, what we're experiencing in that moment. What we can't make an assumption to believe that we can't believe our assumptions so much that we expect people to know what we're thinking and know and truly believe that people aren't willing to understand or could understand what you're experiencing. So yeah.
I got my 2 minutes picking back off of Darian. Is it Darion?
Yeah, that's how you say my name.
We,
Yeah,
we,
that's how you say my
Oh,
name.
my bad. I've been saying it wrong all
Darion.
this time.
Darian Lewis. Yeah, Darian Lewis.
Darion.
Good. Mama did good.
It's Darion.
Mama
Okay,
did
look,
good.
you can be extra with it. It's all good. It's all good.
That's a good poet name.
Next time I see you, I'm gonna be like, Darion in the house. Okay, I'm done.
I like,
Y'all
yeah. Make sure his wife don't
Y'all
have
so
a problem with
crazy.
it. Be careful.
Nah, it's all good. It's all good.
I'm
No, you
messing with
fine, Webby. Webby, you are just fine. Don't listen to DJ Turkey.
With that, so on the receiving end, that's your bad if you didn't ask questions for your own understanding when somebody was saying something, when your romantic partner was saying something to you. That's on you, boo-boo. So shame on you for not asking.
And what I'm going to add to that is I'm gonna roll with I'm gonna get on the bus too, make room. What I'm gonna add to that is yes, it's your fault if you didn't ask. However, on the other side of that, if they ask, you need to make sure you're very clear and communicate what it is that you're saying so they can understand what you're saying. And I'm gonna use this quote. People who can't communicate think everything is an argument. People who lack accountability and think everything is an attack. Everything in communication is not an argument. And just because I may say something in a passionate tone, or I may say something where it puts you on Front Street, not attacking you. I don't think either two of these people on the show and other people such as Chris, Hodge, and other people that I hold close to me would say anything to harm you. So if you're dealing with somebody and you're taking everything as an attack, then you have a problem. Because you can't sit. You can't sit. I know you're gonna say it. You can't sit in a room and think you always right.
Right.
You just can't. That's impossible. As opinionated as I am, and I said it, I'm not always right. And I don't have a problem with you telling me that I'm wrong. And I've learned to stand on it, 10 toes down. So if I'm wrong, sometimes it's not a debate. It's like, you know what? You're right. You're right, D. I was wrong for that, bro. My bad. I apologize. It's simple.
Mm-hmm.
It's simple. To me, it's simple. So, D, go and tell us what this word is.
No, I was thinking about that. No, I process out loud. So I'm not trying to cut you off. I'm just really like agreeing with you. I'm just saying that. Yeah. So I think Webby, am I correct to say that this is like a form of victimizing yourself? Like that we operate from a victimized mentality, like to where you find it's this unique, canny ability to find an opportunity for yourself to be the victim in almost every situation.
Ooh. When the show's with, I'm gonna go back and write that down. Put it on a t-shirt. I'm not lying. I am. Because you know what? I can honestly tell you with both my hands what you just said. I used to play the victim. Man, if something happened, it was your fault. I would make it your fault. No, damn well it's me. But I will make this your fault, flip it, script it, pull the Jedi mind trick, and make you feel like you are the one that's wrong.
Not the Jedi.
Oh my God. I used to do that so much.
It's a real ability. I mean, it's a
Thank you, bro.
real it's a real
Thank you,
ability.
bro.
It's a real thing, and it's often
Thank
a
you, bro.
blind spot for people too. Though people think, no, but that's a real thing.
You can't be the victim all the time, man. Look, I know the show topic was I like you, but I got a man. We're gonna do that next week. We're gonna let our
That
girl
was
handle that. That
Jules.
was that
Little
was Jules.
Jules.
So, but I think this was a good conversation. See how we adjust and pivot. Ain't that what we said yesterday, Whitney?
Yes.
Adjust and pivot.
That was
Just and pivot.
We'll have a show about it in the upcoming month.
Yeah, adjust and pivot, man.
I'm scared of that
We've lined
conversation.
up the shows last for at least 3 months,
You're gonna be
which was good. So we have February, March, and May put together, man. As soon as D, shoot me Tony number. As soon as I get with Tony and figure out how we can do the show, the live show, we'll definitely let you know. Because I really want to do that. I think it's gonna be beneficial. And there's something I'll talk together with the crew, but this is my thought process. I know we get on here and talk, and know some of y'all, because of the way that we do it or the form that I'm on, you're not able to actually talk or be seen. Now, what I'm about to say is you don't have to be seen. You know how we do a show. But one Tuesday, I'm gonna open up the Zoom call for everybody to join. Because instead of listening to us, we want to hear what you got to say. I get text messages, oh, you help me, you help this. But some of y'all got questions. And I want y'all to be a part of the show. I say it all the time. I could sit here and talk by myself, but in the world, it ain't just me. All of us are different. So you may have something on your heart that you want to share. And we want this, as Dee would say, be a safe place for you to have that conversation, and we can just talk. And when I talk to them, if they feel like, hey, we just need to do a Zoom call and don't do it live, cool. We want to do it live. But I really want to open it up for y'all to come on, invite your friends, invite whoever may be going through their 360, whether they married, single, they at work, going through a hard time, just bring it. And let's give them some ways to work through it. Because as we say in our mission, journey, healing is definitely a journey. Other than that, man, D, go on wrap us up, baby, so we can go and get out of here.
Wonderful. Was there anybody in the messages or comments? I don't remember you doing that part.
Oh, my bad. Thank you, sir. Of course, Miss Hodge, always on. See, DJ Black Ice, he was like, hey, good people. He said, our culture is not perfect, but it's ours, belly bumping and all. He also said facts. Lil Webby, Lady Hodge said happy Founders Day. So she I don't know if she was late or not. I'm about to find that out. Nah, that's it, man. Any other comments I'm not able to see. And I'm actually looking on both what's the name, whatnot. So but yeah, man. And make sure when you pray, bro, send one up for our home girl. Life be lifing. And hey, pray and shout out to everyone who's experienced the cold. I hope everyone's okay. I don't want to overlook that. We know Texas is a totally different beast. So but yes. But go ahead, brother.
All right. First and foremost, God, we thank you so much for who you are and you being you. We ask, God, that you would continue to be you and for us to find ourselves in alignment with who you are. Thank you for your love, your grace, and your mercy that has kept us. Thank you for continuing to show us and reveal yourself to us in magnificent ways. God, I pray for specifically for anybody who has been impacted by the cold. I pray for shelter for the homeless. I pray, God, that for anybody who's struggling in this season, that God, that they may find resources and shelter and all that they need to be able to survive. And God, I just pray that if that's your will, that it be done here on earth as it is in heaven. I pray for Jules. I lift her up, God. She said, life be lifing, but God, you be gotten. And we trust that, in many of our scenarios and the impacts of what those particular things may be, while we're in those moments, God, sometimes they feel very, very big, or they're hidden very, very deep. And God, it challenges our belief. And so, God, I pray, God, that she's able to see you, understand that you are God and you can do anything and nothing is impossible to you because you are God. And I pray that she can believe that you are bigger than the situation and that it would bring her hope. And God, that you would, you told us in your word, I believe it was in First Corinthians 10 and 13, that we all have experienced things and we all go through hardships, and there's no one different than the ones that our brothers and sisters go to. But you are faithful and that you will provide us a way out. So I pray, God, that as life is where it is for her right now, that God, you would give her the clarity and the wisdom to see the way out, to see the way beyond the current circumstance, and for her to be able to continue to give you the glory and the honor and the praise on the other side, and even through it. God, we thank you for her, and we ask, God, that this could continue to be a safe place for her to navigate her life, and that we can all find safety not only in each other but in you. So, Father, we trust and believe that you will bring her through, and that there will be a testimony on the other side of this. We thank you for the full 180. For the 180 doesn't happen without you. And when we're tempted to do the 360 and go back to things that have been comfortable and familiar, God, that you will give us wisdom on how to resist those things and resist those things that are just not of you. And if there's anything in us that is not of you, please take it out. In your son Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Look at here. You know what I do? Think big, believe in God because he believes in you. I live by two mantras. Faith and fear cannot dwell in the same place and forever while you're on this side before you get to your heavenly side. Remember to love, live, and laugh. Once again, thanks to my people, Big D, excuse me, Darion, Lewis, the poet that didn't know it. And of course, our own licensed assistant principal. We definitely appreciate her. And then shout out to our girl, Jules, man, always. And then you, our always honored guest. You could be anywhere else in the world, but you chose to be here with us, and I truly appreciate that. So today, since on behalf of the Founders Day, of the ladies and gentlemen of Zeta Phi Beta and them Sigmas, I'm going to dedicate this song to y'all, man. Until the next time, we'll see you next Tuesday, 7:30 p.m. right here on the Full 180. We holla.
You the only one that can hear the music.
Right. He done turned his he took his headphones off.
I know he can't hear.
Can feel it when you want it. Take
Oh. Hey.
No, just starting now. It's the same feeling I always seem to get around. Yeah. There's no mistaking. I'm clearly changing. I just spoken, but yeah. Oh. Starting now, starting now. This stuff is starting now. My eyes rolling in my head, I'm determined my bad. It's the only thing I think about. Yes, like you. Simply put, he's not mine. Then all I will shine. I have to look like that. Oh, no. Bring on you. Yes. Taking my power, but it's my voice. What you think, me?
That's all, folks.